Yo, what's up, guys? Day 206, and tonight I was really thinking, what am I going to talk about? Although I knew I wanted it to be something with the TV show Love is Blind. It's a new TV show with Nick Lachey, and I discovered it, and I almost wish I didn't because now I just need to know what's going to happen. And if you guys haven't watched it yet, I love The Social Experiment, and maybe that's what I'll call today, Social Experiment. And I love science. I love psychology. I love seeing how people react the way that they do. And I love thinking about what they're experiencing in their own experience and in their minds. And so it's just a really fascinating show. And I'm like, what do I really want to say about it? I guess I am grateful that people are down to do stuff like this. And I will tell you this, I've worked on reality shows before, being in them. There's so many things that are not reality. But in working on them, I feel like you can really see, because there's so many emotions, there's so much like real stuff. I can see how, they're having those real experiences. I don't know exactly what they are doing on the outside with the producers and how they're swaying things and doing stuff, because that's all the things that can really start to shift people. But it is fascinating how, I almost don't want to give it up, but spoiler alert, so leave right now if you don't want to hear it. But the first couple that got engaged, they talked for 5 days, and then they were like, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and they can't see each other. And I'm like, this is so fascinating. But it's kind of cool how, that's how I think about it. You can collapse time frames when you have nothing else to focus on. These people have nothing to do but do this. And what our minds can do in an exponential way in such a short period of time is very interesting, and how we can dig to those deep levels. And to be real, I believe you can dig to deep levels in an instant. In one conversation, you can get to know somebody so well, depending on your intention, right? But it's going to be so fascinating to see where this show goes. And honestly, I love thinking about where it's going to go long term, because there's some things that I can already see. I'm like, okay, how is this going to work in what they're calling the real world? And then if things don't work out, I think to myself, what are going to be the effects later on? And I know that they, in a sense, know what they're getting themselves into when they go into a reality show, but you never really know until you're there. Like, you never know. I've had friends on dance shows and stuff, and it's like you think you know how it's going to be, but it's always way harder than you think it's going to go, or it's more taxing on your energy. And to be honest, I don't know if I could ever do it. I really don't. So mad respect to the people that do, and mad respect to the ones who, in this show, it's almost like they talk about it being a science experiment and seeing, is love really blind? And that they're willing to literally open themselves up for the world to watch, or America to watch. Well, it's on Netflix, so the world. And just show what the human psyche can do and where it can take you. So I guess I'm more just talking about the show, and this is one of those videos where I'm just rambling, so appreciate anyone that sits and listens. But I do want to say, I think that people can fall in love very quickly. There are people who have had amazing marriages when they have fallen in love quickly, and I think that time sometimes can be an illusion because it's the quality of time that's invested. But I also know for the average experience, it takes time. And it's because there's a lot of things to filter through, but also it's the neurological and biological wiring of us as people. And there was actually a really good TED Talk about it. I wish I could remember the girl who talked, but the basic thing was, as she was saying, it takes men a longer period of time to fall in love, and it's just the way that their hormones are. And women fall in love quicker, so they say that you should wait before you get super intimate with somebody, because that's going to have a higher probability of that man actually falling in love with you in the long term for good, because it's not just a I want her, like, I'll have her and I'm feeling her, but okay, I got her now and now I don't want her type of vibe. But it's more they've invested, which got them to the emotional level, which then has them actually commit on both levels of physical and emotional. And that sometimes takes men longer. Well, the studies show that it takes men longer. So it is really cool with this show how the men get to that point, because it's like the only thing. And the women, obviously, like, they're there as well. But yeah, it's just very fascinating to me. And I always say go with your gut, go with your instincts, because when you're traveling with people, when you're spending a lot of quality time with people, you can really get to know someone. A lot of people that tour as dancers and stuff end up dating, all those things, and it's because you do live in a bubble, which kind of reminds me of this reality show. It's because the whole world is blocked out and you're living in this kind of like fantasy land, and then sometimes you think, oh God, when I get back to real life, how is this all going to work? But I'm rooting for these people. I don't want to know how it goes. I'm not going to Google it, but I am excited to see how it unfolds, because I love love. I love studying relationships and humans and how they interact with each other. So that is what today is about. And I keep lifting up because it's so like bright up this way, otherwise it's too dark. But have a great morning, evening, and night wherever you are in the world. And do your own experiences, or experiments, I meant to say, on love and what it is for you. Find what works for you and go for it. I'm like really good when I move like a snail. Like, that's just better for me. But for some people, they're like the hare and they just want to go real quick. But cheers to love and all of the experiences we have as humans when it comes to it, because I think that's all anybody really wants on this planet anyways, and that's why it's one of my passions. All right, bye guys.